There is a moment that splits your life in two, and if you are lucky, it arrives early. You look around at the room you live inside. You look at the messages that never come. You look at the people who said they believed in you, and you finally understand the truth. You are dodging the truth that was stalking you the whole time. Nobody is arriving. Nobody is bringing the money. Nobody is bringing the plan. Nobody is bringing the discipline. Nobody is bringing the courage. Nobody is bringing the oxygen when your lungs burn. And if you collapse, the floor will not soften for you. It will simply let you fall. Most people experience that moment as betrayal. They call it unfairness. They call it loneliness. They call it a sign that they were never meant for anything bigger. They sink into a quiet grief, and they spend the rest of their lives trying to purchase comfort from the crowd. They beg for reassurance. They beg for partners. They beg for a team. They beg for someone to hold their hand through the hard parts. And they mistake that begging for being human. But for the outlier, the one who can survive the cold without turning back that moment, is not an end. Ending it is an initiation. It is the first time reality stops lying to you. And that is why it hurts. Reality is not kind, it is accurate. You are here because you feel this pressure inside you, an ambition that does not fit the rooms you grew up in, an appetite that makes people uncomfortable, a vision that sounds insane to anyone who is allergic to risk. You are exhausted from explaining yourself to people who have already decided you are wrong. You are exhausted from translating your hunger into a language that weak minds approve of. Stop translating. Stop negotiating. Stop waiting. The belief that you require support to succeed is one of the softest poisons. Modern society feeds its children because it keeps them manageable. It keeps them dependent. It keeps them asking for permission. A weak society loves teamwork because teamwork spreads responsibility. And anything that spreads responsibility prevents greatness. History is not carved by committees. History is carved by individuals who accepted the burden of standing alone. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago when he studied power without romance. He saw that relying on other people is not connection. It is exposure. Because the moment your plan needs someone else's mood, someone else's approval, someone else's consistency, your plan is no longer yours. It becomes a hostage situation. And hostages do not build empires. Today, you will learn how to build without applause, how to move without witnesses, how to become dangerous with no army behind you. You will learn why having nobody is not a handicap but a tactical advantage. And yes, this will require surgery. We are going to remove the part of you that hunts for validation. We are going to starve the part of you that needs to be understood. We are going to bury the herd instinct that keeps you warm, but keeps you small. If you want comfort, close this now. Return to the crowd. They will feed you opinions. They will feed you excuses. They will feed you a life that feels safe until it suffocates you. But if you want sovereignty, if you want the kind of self-ownership that cannot be taken from you, listen. Why you were trained to depend before you could even speak. You were taught to raise your hand. You were taught that progress happens when the group agrees. School drilled teamwork. Religion drilled belonging, culture drilled networking. And somewhere along the way, you absorbed a silent rule that said you only rise if you are lifted. That rule creates a fragile person because the moment the lifting stops, they fall. Look at the slogans you were handed. It's who you know. It takes a village. You need a support system. You need accountability. You need a mentor notice. The common thread, all of them, quietly place your success outside your control. And Machiavelli would call that foolish, because power begins where dependence ends. A ruler who relies on borrowed strength is never safe, because borrowed strength always comes with a bill. When someone supports you, they gain leverage. They may not say it, but the leverage exists if they invest. They can withdraw. If they encourage, they can punish. If they advise, they can steer. If they introduce, they can gatekeep. You may call it help, but help often becomes a leash, and the tragedy is that many people never build because they spend their best years scanning the horizon for a rescuer. They dilute their vision to fit family expectations. They soften their edge to keep friends comfortable. They delay execution until someone claps first, and then they wonder why nothing happens. The first rule of building with zero support is accepting the 0 point. The 0 point is the moment you stop lying to yourself. You look at your resources, and you see what is actually there, not what you hoped would be there. No savior, no sponsor, no team, no emotional safety net, no guaranteed audience, only you, and the work, and that is not doom, that is freedom. Because if you have no supporters, you also have no masters. If nobody carried you, then nobody owns you. If nobody funded you, then nobody can demand a vote. If nobody rescued you, then nobody can later claim they made you. The empty room is not an insult. It is space, and space is where power expands. Most people chase love from others because love feels like safety, and safety feels like life. But safety is often just delayed weakness. Machiavelli's world was brutal, and he learned a harsh truth. Affection is unstable. Approval is fickle. Loyalty is conditional. And if your engine runs on encouragement, your engine will stall the first time the crowd gets quiet. You must upgrade your fuel. You will no longer run on praise. You will run on principle. You will run on defiance. You will run on the cold, calm certainty that you do not require permission to become what you are meant to become. The doubters, the unread messages, the half-hearted friends, the family who does not understand the silence you feel from them is not a wound unless you keep touching it. If you stop seeking love from people who cannot afford your growth, their indifference becomes information. It tells you the market is open. It tells you the path is yours alone. It tells you you will not have to split the crown when you win. Now comes the mental shift that turns loneliness into advantage. A supported person moves like a committee. They ask, they confirm, they negotiate, they wait. A lone builder moves like a blade, fast, quiet, decisive. You can change your entire strategy tonight because you have no meeting to schedule, no opinions to manage, no egos to protect. While organizations drown in coordination, you move in minutes. This is asymmetry. And asymmetry is how small forces defeat large ones. So how do you execute when nobody is cheering? How do you work when the only witness is the ceiling you enter, what I call the ghost discipline? If you have no support, you have no audience. And if you have no audience, you have no reason to perform. You stop telling people what you will do. You stop posting announcements. You stop explaining the plan to friends who secretly enjoy your uncertainty. Because talking leaks. Energy people confuse talking about goals with progress. They get a dopamine hit from describing the dream in their brain. Relaxes as if the work was done. Then doubt enters through someone else's mouth, and the dream collapses before it is built. The ghost does not speak. The ghost produces. You take a vow of silence around your ambition. You do not advertise the climb. You do not ask for permission. You let your results be the first time anyone hears your name again, because silence creates pressure, and pressure becomes movement. When you keep the goal inside your body without releasing it through speech, it turns into restlessness. It turns into tension. It turns into a fire you can use at 2 a.m. when comfortable people are asleep. Isolation also gives you a luxury most people never get: total immersion. You do not have to attend meaningless gatherings. You do not have to maintain social masks. You do not have to donate your evenings to conversations that drain you. You can disappear, and in that disappearance, you can obsess. Society calls obsession unhealthy, because obsession breaks obedience. Obsession creates the kind of skill that makes you undeniable, and when you are undeniable, support becomes irrelevant. And here is the irony. The moment you stop needing support is the moment it begins to arrive. Because humans love winners. They love attaching themselves to momentum, but they hate betting on uncertainty. If you want them to believe later, stop begging. Now build privately, produce relentlessly. Become so competent, the world has no choice but to notice. But let's not pretend this is painless. There is grief on this path, and the fake motivational people never mention it. You must mourn the version of life you expected. You expected applause. You expected understanding. You expected your friends to grow with you. You expected family too. Recognize the fire in your chest, and they didn't, and that hurts, because it feels like rejection. But it is not rejection. It is distance between realities. You are living in the future, and they are living in comfort. You must hold a funeral for the you that needed them. You must bury the child who wanted to be chosen and allow the adult who chooses himself to stand up. You will have nights where you stare at the dark and your mind invents accusations. You will wonder if you are delusional. You will crave the old cage because it was familiar. This is the valley every outlier crosses. You left the herd, but you have not reached the sanctuary yet. And in the wilderness, your brain tries to drag you back by making you fear the silence. Do not negotiate with that fear. Observe it. Let it pass and keep moving. Because once you have tasted independence, you cannot unlearn it. This is where self-architecture begins. You become your own system, your own discipline, your own accountability, your own leadership. You stop hoping for a strong father figure or a perfect mentor, and you become the authority inside your own mind. You talk to yourself with command, not comfort you. Do not pamper weakness. You do not insult yourself either. You direct yourself like a general directs a mission. Get up, execute, refine, repeat. The weak part of you will protest. The commander does not debate, the commander moves and over. Time, the weak part stops arguing because it learns who is in charge. If you have no support, you also have no one to enable you. And that is a gift, because comfort is not kindness. Comfort is delay when there is no cushion. The consequences hit immediately, and immediate consequences teach fast. You learn what works because your survival depends on it. You become anti-fragile. You do not merely endure stress, you sharpen under it. Now you must choose the story you tell about your situation. Most people tell a victim story. No one helped me, so I couldn't start. No one supported me, so I failed. No one believed, so I quit. That story protects the ego, but kills the future. You will tell a sovereign story. I had no support. I had no audience, so I became my own standard. I had no help, so I became more capable than anyone who depended on help. You will take rejection, unanswered messages, and dismissive smiles, and you will not turn them into sadness. You will turn them into fuel, because sadness slows you. Anger moves, and the disciplined person can transmute anger into work without letting it rot into bitterness. Do not become hateful. Become precise. Use the slight as energy, not as identity. The people who doubted you did not do it because they are villains. They did it because they cannot see what you see. Most humans obey immediate needs: safety, comfort, belonging. You obey a future need: freedom, power, options. That is why you feel lonely. You are speaking a language the herd does not speak. So stop translating. Build the tower so high, translation becomes unnecessary. To win with zero support, you must practice strategic isolation, not accidental loneliness. Strategic isolation is chosen. It is designed. You cut the cords that drain you. You stop paying social taxes to stay in rooms you do not respect. You sit with the silence until it stops screaming at you. And when it stops you, hear something rare. Your own mind without interference. Your intuition without noise. Your strategy without other people's fear. Greatness is born in the void, because the void forces you to meet yourself without distraction. And here is the cold logic. The more people you add to your success equation, the more failure points you create. Humans are volatile. They get jealous. They get bored. They change their minds. They get scared. They demand compromise. If your plan relies on another person behaving consistently, your plan is fragile. Machiavelli warned rulers about relying on forces that are not truly theirs, because if they lose, you fall. And if they win, you become their prisoner. The modern version is the same if your success depends on someone else's platform money. Approval or emotional supply you will eventually pay with your freedom. Building alone is harder, but it is clean. The foundation is granite, and the structure belongs to you. And when the storms come, you do not collapse, because you did not borrow your strength, you built it. Now let's get practical, because mindset without protocol is just poetry. If you have no boss, no team, no accountability partner, you are in the most dangerous zone. Freedom can turn into entropy if you let it. So you must create laws for yourself, not plans. Laws. The first law is the morning battle. The first minute of the day decides the tone if you lose. To comfort early, you teach your brain that comfort is authority. Win the first battle every day. The second law is deep work, not long work. Deep work. 2 blocks of focused creation, with the phone dead, the door shut, the mind locked on one mission. You do not need 12 hours. You need 4 hours of ruthless focus, and you can outproduce entire rooms of distracted people. The third law is information diet. Your mind is the engine. If you feed it garbage, it will output garbage. Cut the drama, cut the doom, cut the noise. Study strategy, study craft, study systems. Machiavelli studied history. Power, not gossip. The fourth law is the nightly audit. You have no manager, so you become one. Review. The day without excuses. Did you produce or did you perform? Did you build or did you browse? Correct the weakness immediately. Do not coddle it. Structure replaces missing support. Now understand something that will save you years. Networking is not a substitute for value when you have nothing to offer. Networking turns you into a beggar in a suit. Powerful people do not reward neediness. They avoid it. Do not chase rooms. Build a magnet. Build skill. Build proof. Build a portfolio. Build a product. Build an audience. When you become rare, you do not ask for attention. Attention looks for you. Machiavelli's principle remains the same. Make yourself necessary to the market, and the market will introduce you to the right people for free. And yes, when you finally enter those rooms, it will feel surreal because you will not be handing out business cards. People will be asking how you did it. People will say they always believed. People will attempt to rewrite history. They will try to stand near the trophy. They did not carry. This is your final test. The old you will crave their approval again, and you must not drink that poison. You do not need to be cruel. You do not need to announce anything. You simply keep distance. You treat them with the same polite indifference they offered you. You become glass. They can see you, but they cannot reach you because you learned a truth that changes everything. Affection is often conditional, and that is not tragic. It is human, but you do not build a kingdom on conditional loyalty. The only people who get a key are the ones who carried stones with you, and since you carried them alone, the kingdom is yours. And this is not loneliness. This is sovereignty, because the deepest peace is knowing you are the asset. If everything vanished tomorrow, you could rebuild, because you are the engine, not the environment. And here is the paradox. Once you no longer need support, you can finally give it cleanly. You can help without begging. You can mentor without dependency. You can invest without chains. You can become the person you wished existed when your room was empty. But you do it strategically. You do not save everyone. You only support those who show discipline because you respect reality. Now, you respect the cost of building, and you never forget the cold. You never forget the silence you keep. A piece of it inside you as an anchor, while the world throws compliments at your feet. Now your biology will try to resist this. Your brain will whisper, humans are social. You need people. That is true. And that is also how the herd controls you. The flock feels safe until the wolf arrives. The wolf is safe because he is dangerous, which will. You become the path of zero support is not for everyone. It is for the outlier, the one willing to look like a failure for a long time, in order to become undeniable forever. It is for the one willing to suffer in the dark, so the light feels earned. It is for the one who refuses microdoses of sympathy, because sympathy numbs pain, but does not change reality. If you are still here, you already feel it. The empty chair next to you is not proof you are unwanted. It is proof the throne is unoccupied and waiting for a person strong enough to sit in it. Stop waiting for a team. Stop waiting for approval. Stop waiting for the world to become fair. Build anyway, move anyway, learn anyway, publish anyway, create anyway. This is how empires start, not with support, but with a single mind that refuses to quit. And remember this, the crowd does not crown you before you win. It crowns you after you have already conquered in silence. So, disappear, become the ghost. Do the work, stack proof, stack competence, stack results. And when the room finally fills with people who suddenly believe you will not hate them, you will simply understand them, and you will continue building because you did not start this journey to be loved. You started it to be free.